You're watching WYLN TV 35.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this WYLN Sports Special presentation of the Lehigh Valley Health Network Hazelton Game of the Week. Week number 9 brings us to Crispin Field in Berwick as the hometown Bulldogs play host to the 7-1 Comets of Crestwood. You are looking live at Crispin Field in Berwick, where we will now pause for the Berwick alma mater and our national anthem. Outstanding renditions of the Berwick alma mater and our national anthem. Once again, you are looking live at Crispin Field. We thank you for joining us for continuing coverage of high school football on WYLN. I'm Marty Burns, joined as always by the coach Joe DeMelfi, Jim Burns on the stats, and Joe for Crestwood and Coach Arcangeli. All right, Comets 7-1, but if you ever had to get this team ready, you look to the film from 2 weeks ago when the Dallas team that gave Crestwood their only blemish had their undefeated season come to an end here to this Berwick football team.
Dallas, obviously, a very good football team. They went from beating Crestwood to coming to Berwick, and the Bulldogs played probably their best game of the year as they defeated Dallas. They have their work cut out for them. Number one, Marty, they have to stop the rushing game.
Crestwood will get the ball to start. They're in the white going from right to left on your screen. We are set with number 1, Luke Peters, to kick it away for the Bulldogs. And this Barb Bush Automotive kickoff has us underway as this will be Miscavige for Crestwood across the 25. He gets across the 35 to about the 39. Great return for the Comets, where they'll start first and 10. Should mention the men in stripes tonight. Our referee is Mr. Greg Zumchak. The umpire, John Basic. The linesman is Chris Basic. The line judge, Nick Coleman. Kyle Costello is the field judge. And tonight's side judge, Jerry Stefanowski.
As we look at the beginning of the game, Marty, we talked about this. Stopping the ground game is important. As ball is set at about the 48-yard line. I'm sorry, 43-yard line.
Schultz came in motion. Shedlock kept it himself, breaks a tackle, and Kishbaugh hauls him down, but not before the Grand Central first down picked up by the Crestwood quarterback.
One of the things that makes it so difficult to stop Crestwood's ground game, Marty, is you have to find the football. You have people coming in motion. You have 2 or 3 backs moving. It's difficult to find the ball. And both quarterbacks are side by side with their hands out, so you don't know where the snap's going.
And it's going to be a handoff to Knight. Knight is going to be hauled down after a short gain.
Ran that play a little early, Marty. They usually run it after they establish a running game to either side, and then they come back with that little inside reverse. Came out with it about the 3rd play of the game, picked up a couple.
Dre Wilk on the tackle, as it is senior night tonight here at Berwick, where the seniors from the football team, cheerleading squad, and band were honored beforehand. And Joe, Mr. Wilk looked like he could still play.
He can.
Maybe just not as fast, excuse me.
He never was real fast.
That'll be another phone call. Shedlock took the carry and got it down to the 40. It'll leave the Comets with a 3rd down and 6 in Berwick territory. Opening minute and a half on the Blaze Alexander Family Dealerships of Greater Hazelton scoreboard, first possession of the game. So obviously no score. Let's see what Crestwood comes out with here.
The other thing, you can't let Crestwood lull you to sleep with this run game.
Shedlock dumps it off. It's Knight. Knight has a first down and more before his knee touches down at about the 25, a gain of 15, and a Grand Central first down.
Here you see it.
Left side quick pass is completed to Robert.
Shedlock going to his right, then coming back to his left. Defense reads that first move. Knight wide open in the flat.
So the second first down of this drive for the Comets here at the Berwick 25. This is Schultz on a direct handoff, and he's got some room. He's got 10 and more. Schultz to the end zone. It's a 2 Italian guys pizzeria. Touchdown for Noah Schultz.
You could see it up here, Marty. Schultz had the corner before he even turned up the field. Berwick had some inside pressure, which did not get to him. Again, Crestwood doing a nice job blocking on the corner. Schultz turns it up. We've seen Schultz a couple of times, Marty, and we know how effective he is running the football.
Rolls his point after is up and good. 9:30 left in the opening quarter. Crestwood strikes first, leading 7-0.
Getting to the finish line starts with Lehigh Valley Orthopedic Institute, the region's leader in sports medicine. Our specialists use the most advanced technology for faster, better results, so elite and everyday athletes can compete like champions once again. Lehigh Valley Orthopedic Institute. Your health deserves a partner.
We live life in the cloud. It's how we work, how we learn, how we laugh. It connects us to the ones we love, near and far. We at Service Electric have been working hard to upgrade our system, a local company providing you the fastest, most reliable internet. No contracts, no bandwidth limits. You choose the speed you need, and Service Electric will take you as fast as you want to go.
Welcome back to high school football, brought to you by the Lehigh Valley Health Network Hazelton Game of the Week here on WYLN. Crestwood took their first possession, got a touchdown, lead 7-0. The Barbush Automotive kickoff went out of bounds, so Coach Bennett and the Bulldogs will have it at their own 35.
Marty, Crestwood Schultz, 25-yard run on the corner, took it to the end zone, rolls with the kick. 5 plays, 62 yards. Comets score first. Took them 2 minutes plus.
Play action. Lonzinski pumps once, gets it to Kishbaugh. He's got 5. Pushed out of bounds at about 9 by Schultz. Nice opening play for the Bulldogs to start.
Going to the right side of the formation and downfield is completed to Spencer Kishbaugh. Pick up a 9 to the 44.
Good throw by Lonzinski.
Great look by the S.J. Kowalski replay from our production crew. 2nd and 1 for the Bulldogs. A pistol look with Sheptok behind Lonzinski, and it will be Sheptok. He gets the first down and more, and Sheptok will be hauled down by Jones, but not before he gets into Comet territory and picks up a Grand Central. Berwick first down.
Bulldogs come out left side. Sheptok turns it up the field. Nice job blocking there. Got some movement down the field. Bulldogs move on for their first down.
Gain of 7 to the Crestwood 49. Lonzinski shifts Sheptok to his left. Quick drop. This is Kishbaugh. Kishbaugh gets a block from Wilkie's down the sideline. Kishbaugh, one man to beat, and he'll be tackled inside the 10 on the Grand Central first down. It'll be 1st and goal, Bulldogs.
Great play here. Great block. I'll tell you what, initially,
I apologize. I thought that was Wilk, but it was Ethan Lear on the block.
Ethan Lear did a great job, and we talked about that type of block downfield. Doesn't have to be crushing, just getting the person's way so Kishbaugh can get up the field, and that's what happened.
And as you saw, the Bulldogs in the Pocono Mountain Visitors Bureau red zone. This is Sheptok on 1st and goal. Bounces it out. Broke one tackle, but is tackled inside the 5-yard line, making the tackle Matt Sklarowski for Crestwood.
2nd and goal, Marty, 4-yard line. Bulldogs looking to respond to that Crestwood score, moving the ball very well in this first offensive series.
Early indications, Joe, this might not be a defensive night.
Well, unlike Tony Romo the other day when he said, looks like a 24-20 game. This looks like a 35-21 game.
And there you see some defense. Sklarowski got a hand on that pass that was intended for Kishbaugh. It'll bring up 3rd and goal.
Wanted to find Kishbaugh in the corner. As he throws it up, Sklarowski does a nice job knocking it away.
Incomplete by the Crestwood defensive back.
Clock is stopped at 8:04 on the Blaze Alexander Family Dealerships of Greater Hazelton scoreboard. 3rd and goal, Bulldogs, trailing 7-0. Lonzinski tosses to Sheptok. Sheptok cuts it back, and he's going to be upended, but a late flag down as well. Knight, I believe, made the tackle. But let's see, that flag came from the back side of the end zone.
Referee checking.
Face mask on the defense.
Penalty on the play is a face mask tackle, half the distance to the goal line.
I believe it remains 3rd down, but it's inside the 1, 3rd and goal.
4th
Or excuse me, I apologize.
and 1
No, Now
the
the
one.
yard marker says third, so we'll say third. Lonzinski tries to sneak, reaches across. He's in for a 2 Italian guys.
Lonzinski.
Pizzeria. Berwick touchdown.
Impressive response by the Bulldog offense. Right down the field, looking for the kick. As you see the quarterback sneak, Lonzinski in, looking for the kick to respond with Peters.
The left footer's kick is up and good. 7:43 left in the opening quarter, all tied at 7.
Third Base Luncheonette, still making memories after all these years.
We move! We've moved to 703 Airport Road. Blaze Alexander, Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram has moved to our new state-of-the-art location with more room for greater selection and our all-new service and parts department. Come see us at our all-new location, Blaze Alexander, Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram, behind Walmart on Airport Road. Taking the deals the other guys won't.
We welcome you back to the Lehigh Valley Health Network Hazleton Game of the Week, and a quick start for both teams, Joe, 7-7. Now time for the Barbush Automotive kickoff from Peters. Miscavige will come over at the 17. He's across the 25, across the 30. Miscavige in open field, and he'll be brought down by Josh Kishbaugh, but not before a big return out across the 45, a return of almost 30.
Usually when you kick to a spot like that, you try to close with your kickoff cover team, close and trap the person, but Miscavige has some speed, is able to get it back to, and we're looking now as they move it back.
I missed that flag, and I apologize.
I see it right
there. Oh, there it is on the 35.
We got a hold. So they're going to start their offense from the 25-yard line, their own.
Joe, I apologize. I missed that flag, but the officials caught it, and Crestwood will start from the 25.
Marty Lonzinski on the quarterback sneak. Peters with the kick. 70 yards. The Bulldogs tie it up.
And that Lonzinski-Kishbaugh connection went for 54 of those 65 yards as the Bulldogs come up big defensively. A host of blue jerseys, bring down the ball carrier for a loss of 1.
One on the play. Charge led by number 71.
That was Shedlock trying to come back off the right side, coming back on a little bit of a counter off his first move. Lost a yard, it looks like.
Shedlock passes, a slant is going to be ruled complete to Matt Sklarowski, who's had a big opening quarter defensively and now this play offensively.
I'll tell you what, nice route by Sklarowski. Good coverage by the Bulldogs. Right there, and couldn't knock it down, but couldn't have played it. Billy Hansen on the left side as we have an official stepping in here for, now we're having a conference.
Not quite sure. No. Looks like we have a penalty against Berwick.
Call is offside.
Offside, so that'll give the Comets a first down, a Grand Central first down via penalty.
That was a lineup offside. By that I mean they were lined up in the neutral zone, called by the official.
Don't they sometimes give you, especially early, a chance to get back?
I think that if it was probably just a little bit, he would warn him, but obviously it was more than a little bit.
Shedlock looked to pass. Now he gets rid of it. A low throw. Looking for Knight. No rule. It's complete. Out to the 44 for a gain of 7.
Used that step left, went to his right this time, Marty. Found the flat pattern and completed it. So it's second and about 3, maybe 4 here on in the first quarter.
And all of that movement drew the Bulldogs offside.
Concentrate, watch the ball. We talk about that every week. And I'll tell you what, Marty, you have to be careful offensively when you're doing that, because that quick movement could be something the official deems aiding the defense in jumping offside. So
another Grand Central first down via penalty, as this is a direct snap to Schultz. He'll get into Berwick territory where he is brought down by Harrison Snyder after a gain of about 4.
You see a replay.
2nd and 6.
Schultz is able to pick up decent yardage off the left side.
Second and 6 from the Berwick 47. Approaching 4.5 minutes remaining in a action-packed first quarter, tied at 7 on the third offensive possession of the game. This is Crestwood with the ball, and another direct snap to Schultz. He's about a yard shy of the first down. Jimmy DeAndrea brought him down.
I'll tell you what, Marty, it just makes it more difficult for the defense with the offense shifting like that. They have to now not only center on watching the snap, worry about that shift, and when they shift, they could be changing formation strength either way. So defense really has to play heads up. Field overloaded to the right side, which is to the field.
Schultz leans forward and he'll get inside the 40 to the 39. He picks up a Grand Central first down. Leading the charge for Berwick was Chase Shuckers.
Shuckers doing a good job, but Schultz up the field off that unbalanced right.
This game is brought to you in part by Antonio's Pizza, 501 Main Street, Whitehaven. Family owned and operated for over 30 years. Home cooked Italian meals from pizza to pasta dishes. Call them today, 570-443-9776. Antonio's Pizza in Whitehaven. Shedlock keeps. Kishbaugh got a hold of him, and it'll be a tackle for loss.
I'll tell you what, Marty, that's first time here in the first quarter where the Bulldog defense had some penetration. They stopped that play for a 2-yard gain because they had 3 or 4 players up the field.
It's going to officially be a loss of 2, making it 2nd and 12 for the Comets. As the clock, Joe, continues to move in this fast-paced opening quarter, approaching 2.5 minutes remaining on the Blaze Alexander Family Dealerships of Greater Hazleton first quarter scoreboard.
Got to look to the flat, to the field. If he takes that step and then tries to come back.
Shedlock got away from one tackler. He's down the sideline, and Kishbaugh chase him down, but not before Shedlock gets a Grand Central first down inside the Bulldog 20.
Shedlock showing some speed. We talked about that last week against Hanover area. He takes it down to the 12-yard line where it'll be 1st and 10. So they can pick up the first down before.
In the Pocono Mountain Visitors Bureau red zone are the Comets. Under 2 minutes left in the opening quarter. as they look to regain the lead, tied at 7. And that's Knight getting the handoff, and he'll get to about the 5, leaving the Comets with 2nd and 3. Joe, up in Hazelton, where we'll see the Cougars take on these Bulldogs next Friday. Cougars strike first on a Bookman touchdown run. A Matthews 2-point conversion, 8-0 Cougars. Here's Schultz trying to get the lead back for the Comets. Doesn't get to the end zone, but it's going to depend on the spot. He may have picked up the first down.
Marty ran that inside reverse the play before, picked up about 4 or 5 here. They get it down to the 2, and we're looking at 3rd and short, obviously. Said they could pick up the first down. They need maybe a half a yard.
3rd and 1 from the 3. It'll be Shedlock. Up the middle, he got stopped for a short gain, but as Joe mentioned, that might be enough for the first down. Tristan English on the tackle. See where the officials mark it. What Greg Zumchak says, he says it's a Grand Central first down. 1st and goal coming up for the Comets.
First down for the Comets. 1st and goal at the 2.
Under a minute left here in the first quarter as Crestwood checks the sideline for the play call.
Shedlock to the goal line, and he's in. 2 Italian guys, Pizzeria. Crestwood touchdown as the Comets back in front.
Has a Crestwood touchdown at the 23-second mark of the first quarter.
Needed a couple yards, and we've seen Crestwood a couple of times this year. They are very much capable on the ground of picking up yardage, and they did it there for the touchdown.
Rolls on for the point after. And his kick again makes it a 7-point lead for the Comets with 28 seconds left in the opening quarter.
22 seconds remaining first quarter. 14, Crestwood, 7, Berwick.
SJ Kowalski is your Mitsubishi Diamond Contractor. They can install a Mitsubishi electric Mr. Slim ductless heating and cooling system. Mr. Slim systems are designed to make any living space in your home inviting. You can have a different temperature control for every room in your home. The money-saving technology can save you 25 to 50% on your heating bill. For Mitsubishi, Rinnai, and trained comfort specialists, call SJ Kowalski at 570-455-2600.
BLB Auto Sales, a division of Barbush Automotive. BLB has deals that can't be beat. They carry trucks, vans, SUVs, sedans, and sports cars, and all at the lowest prices. Barbush Automotive can handle all vehicle repairs since they do it all. Check out their specials: oil change and filter, just $19.95. Alignment, $49.95. Professional and good people. Call 570-454-7571.
He can see us.
We welcome you back to Crispin Field in Berwick. Each team has had the ball. Crestwood's had it twice, Berwick once. Therefore, 14-7 with 28 seconds left in the opening quarter. Rolls on for the Barbush Automotive kickoff.
Bulldogs, after the first score, responded. Let's see if they can do the same.
Again, a short kick. They're going to have to get on it. Sheptalk picked it up at the 25 and then went down to a knee after taking a 2-yard gain.
Marty, Crestwood's last touchdown. Shedlock, left side, 2-yard run, rolls, kick, good. 12 plays, 75 yards.
At the 27-yard line, Bulldogs, 1st and 10.
And Shedlock, a big part of that. Offensively, 5 carries, 30 yards, including the touchdown. But Joe, we've seen so much. Crestwood be quick strike, but they show there that they can grind it out 12 plays over 7 minutes off the clock.
And that's something we knew coming in, Marty. I mean, obviously their rushing game, their ground game hasn't been impressive. Their offensive line has done a great job all year long.
Lonzinski kept it himself as he gets across the 30, out to the 32, and Coach Bennett does not have to have his offense run another play, and I think they're going to let this clock run down and go to the other end of the field. As it hits zeros, through a quarter, Crestwood 14, Berwick 7. You're watching the Lehigh Valley Health Network Hazleton Game of the Week live on WYLN.
Struggling to get a good night's sleep? Then look no further. Grand Central is here to help. Grand Central Sealy experts will set you straight. When you buy your mattress at Grand Central, you can expect free delivery and setup, free removal of the old unit, and interest-free financing for up to 60 months. And of course, Grand Central's everyday low prices. Grand Central in Hazleton, helping you make your house a home.
Your guide to everything Pocono Mountains is PTN, the Pocono Television Network. Tune in and see all the unique places to stay and things to do in the Pocono Mountains. Watch PTN on WYLN.
Getting set for second quarter action, the Lehigh Valley Health Network Hazleton Game of the Week here on WYLN. Comets up 7.
Marty, first quarter, Berwick rushing 13 yards, passing 54, 67 total yards. Crestwood, 97 yards on the ground, 30 passing, 127.
Lonzinski faked the pass, gave it to Sheptok. Schultz hauls him down after a gain of maybe a yard. It'll bring up third down and about 4.
Bo Sheptok, left side. Nothing there really, although he picked up a couple.
Lonzinski on third down. Look for Wilk. Now he's going to tuck it and run. He's got a lot of green. Lonzinski will step out of bounds near midfield, but he picks up a Grand Central first down.
Good look by Lonzinski. Found some room on the left side. Sheptok with a decent block to this side. Must have turned and saw Lonzinski was going left. Picks up the first down.
Got to look on it on the S.J. Kowalski replay. 1st and 10, Bulldogs at their 49. Opening minute of the second quarter, 14-7, the Bulldogs trail. This is Sheptok trying to bounce outside, and he got hit in the backfield. Aggressive play defensively by Knight.
I'll tell you what, great job on run support by Knight. Sheptok has the speed if he can get outside. Right now they're not allowing him to do that. And Knight makes a nice play on the corner, forces a second down.
Second and 11 for the Bulldogs at their own 48. Lonzinski looking for the screen to Sheptok. Read by Lincoln Bibla, who'll bring him down for a loss of 7.
Yeah, Lincoln Bibla sat on that screen. Here you see Lonzinski looking down the field, getting some rush. Great job by Knight on the rush, and then Bibla was right there to make the tackle, forcing a third down and about 16 or 17. Playbook sort of shrinks when we get to this situation.
And here come the Comets. After Lonzinski, Bibla! This Magnus Bibla that brings him down for the sack. bringing up 4th down.
Great job by Magnus Bibla holding on to Lonzinski. Saw some pressure off the corner. If Lonzinski was able to turn up, I think he would have had some running room. But Magnus Bibla with a big defensive play.
That'll force a BLB Auto Sales punt. Joe, another update from Harmon Guy Stadium in Hazleton. Matthew Bookman, an interception, set up a touchdown run by Tyler Wolf. Point after, no good. 14-0 Cougars with about 4.5 left in the opening quarter. Here we're in the second as Wilt gets off the BLB Auto Sales punt. It's a short kick that'll take a Berwick roll and be downed at the Bulldog 31. Well, we have a moment. I'd like to thank the Third Base Luncheonette, located just off of 9th Street in Hazleton, for supplying our crew meal tonight, as they have all season long and for so many seasons here on WILN. Many thanks to the Third Base Luncheonette.
Bulldogs couldn't answer on that second offensive series. Need to tighten the defense. We have 8:58 left, second quarter. The Comets up by 7.
Fake tonight, Shedlock looking. Dumps it off to Schultz. Schultz got pinned on the sideline and pushed out of bounds near a first down. I believe that was Sheptok that forced him out. But looking at the mark, should be enough for a Grand Central first down.
Marty, one of the things that I'm looking at here is flat coverage for the Bulldogs. So far tonight, the Comets have utilized their passing game in the flat for some big plays. That time was a 10-yarder to pick up the first down.
And it'll be an inside handoff to Knight. Doesn't find a lot inside. It looks like he gets about 2.
Robert Knight.
Spencer Kishbaugh, I think Knight also ran into 1 or 2 of his blockers along with Kishbaugh from Berwick.
Coming up at the half, we'll get a look at the Pocono Mountain Visitors Bureau first half highlights as well as halftime stats, which will be compiled by Jim Burns. I believe with senior night, Joe, I believe we'll hear from that Berwick marching band. All coming up at the half. And that might be in a legit 8 minutes. The way this clock is running in this opening half is Schultz gets a first down and more. Wilk will push him down, but not before another Grand Central first down for the Comets.
Marty, as we take another look at this, when you look at the corner right now, there's no containment on the corner. Why is that? Great blocking for one thing, but it's either a defensive end up the field or a linebacker that's going to come outside, or better run support from your secondary. Can't allow that corner to open up just like that.
1st and 10 from the Bulldog 44. And that time, Schultz, and he's still moving. That pile keeps going. The officials don't blow it dead. And Schultz and his helpers get a gain of 8.
Schultz is the type of back, if you don't tackle him at the legs, forget it. He's going to carry you along with that offensive line, who does a great job on the push. He picked up 8 yards after first contact.
And it's going to be Schultz again, and this time not as much on first down, but it's plenty enough for another Grand Central first down.
3-yard gain to the Berwick 32.
Wide field, ball in the middle, so not really a wide field, but a little more room to the right as
Knight in motion to the top of your screen. This is Shedlock this time, and the Bulldogs stack up the middle. Looks like they may give him about a yard.
Nice job by the Berwick defense right at point of attack. maybe picked up a yard, Marty. There are easy yards and tough yards. That was a tough yard.
No gain on the play. 2nd and 10.
Fake the handoff tonight. Again, they have Schultz open. Schultz is going to be brought down, and it looked like Schultz's head went down, and we may get a face mask, I believe, on the defense as well.
Let's go back to the flat passes. Make a fake to the left side. Throw, as you mentioned, Marty, Schultz wide open, and a couple of flags out, and I'm sure it is a personal foul. I'm sorry.
Sorry, Joe. Along with the face mask, it will be a Grand Central first down for the Comets. Looks like we'll end up with 1st and goal at the 9. As once again, the Comets in the Pocono Mountain Visitors Bureau red zone.
You might ask, Marty, who was supposed to cover the flat. And that all depends if they're in a zone. It would be a cornerback, maybe a linebacker. Normally not an outside linebacker who would drop.
Schultz got the direct snap. Got stood up, but he leaned forward to about the 5, a gain of 4, bringing up 2nd and goal.
And the other thing is with the movement to the left, and the defense bites on that even a step or two, now quarterback comes right. It takes a little time for defense to adjust. That leaves that right flat wide open. Second and goal, Marty. 5-yard line.
And again, it's Schultz. Trying to find room in the middle. Berwick stacks it up nicely, holds it to a gain of about 2, bringing up 3rd down and goal.
Dre Wilk there along with several of his defensive teammates. So we're going to, as you said, 3rd down. Interesting play call here.
And the officials only gave him a yard on that play, so it's at the 4 of Berwick. Clock continues to tick away, under 4.5 left in the half. Shedlock rolling left. Now he cuts it into the middle. Shedlock is into the end zone for a 2 Italian guys. Pizzeria, Crestwood touchdown.
Now that time Berwick did a pretty good job with the containment, but the backside of the defense has to catch up or else they're going to leave a gap, and that's exactly what happened. Backside of the defense a little quicker to the play. Here you're going to see it. Good containment, but right there, backside of that defense has to get off the block and slide down.
Rolls kick is up and good. 4:15 left in the opening half. It's 21-7 Crestwood.
Penn State Hazleton is improving the lives of others, starting in our community.
Providing degrees that meet the needs of the area.
Fueling entrepreneurship and contributing more than $36 million annually to the state's economy.
Researching the health of our local ecosystem on the Susquehanna River.
Together, our impact keeps growing, backed by the strength of 24 campuses and 700,000 alumni.
There's no better place to shoot than Whitetail Preserve. Their skeet, trap, and sporting clay fields are professionally designed, and all stations are handicap accessible. Whitetail Preserve has resident shooting instructors certified by the NRA in shotgun, rifle, pistol, home safety, and personal protection in the home. Whitetail can also cater any size event, whether it be a private party, corporate event, or wedding. Call 570-384-2314 for more information.
That's right.
We welcome you back to Crispin Field in Berwick. After the stop defensively, the Comets continue having a successful offensive night, leading 21-7 as Rolls is on for the Barbush Automotive kickoff.
Shedlock left side for the last score. Rolls with the kick, 10 plays, 69 yards. Took 4 minutes plus.
Short kick that's again going to take a bounce and nobody got on it. Crestwood recovers at the 24.
Obviously 10 yards as the ball's alive. Everybody should know that. Berwick not responding at all
Colin Lazo got down on special teams to recover the football.
Ball's in the air. We used to do something like this at Wilkes, Marty. Kick it high, let it hit the ground, and nobody fields it. It's a free ball. Crestwood with the hustle and the ball.
And here I thought you were going to say you used to do that on Berwick golf courses. Just get it high and let it drop a few inches from the cup.
No, a few inches from the tee.
So Crestwood leading 21-7. Get it right back. Shedlock looking for the home run. Has a man and incomplete looking for Schultz. Wilk came over in the coverage for Berwick.
Wasn't a bad throw. It was over his outside shoulder, but just a little bit too much. Late coverage by Wilk. That was almost like the knockout punch, Marty. They wanted to hit that. They were up by 2 scores, they being Crestwood.
Second and 10. This will be the handoff inside. Knight got hit in the middle and dropped for a short gain.
Inside handoff to Robert Knight. He goes right side.
Wilk and DeAndrea on the hit.
Let's stop him for no gain.
Great job by the defense. Here you see it. That inside action is not doing as well as we've seen it for Crestwood as Berwick's defense stiffens here. 3:34 left, and then
Crestwood timeout. 3:34 left in the half. They lead 21-7. We'll keep it here. So, Joe, Ranger Suarez navigated through the first inning. The Fightins getting their first look at Joe Musgrove. No score in Philadelphia in a critical game 3 of the NLCS.
They got to win on the road, though. That was what they wanted, I believe. I mean, I'm sure if they could split there, then they go home for 3 and then back for 2, I believe.
I think they're hoping they don't take another trip to San Diego. They like to take care of things at home, but first things first tonight, game 3.
I'd like to go to San Diego, but I'm sure they don't want another trip. They take 3 in a row, which is going to be tough. San Diego's pretty good. I mean, there's a team that finished, I think, 18 or 19 games out in a regular season, beat the Dodgers in the playoff.
You mean we didn't open the WYLN San Diego branch yet?
Not yet, but I heard there's a possibility.
So a critical 3rd and 10 here. After the timeout, Knight comes in motion. Flag is down, and they're going to call it, I believe, against the offense.
Well, that's one of the things when you get all this movement, Marty. That's one of the things you have to beware of is somebody on the offensive line once they're set. Now they need to be in a 3-point stance, but once they're set, they can't move. So now it's going to be 3rd and about 5 or 15. I'm sorry.
.334 left in the opening half. 3rd and 15 for Crestwood, up 21-7. Shedlock looking, being pressured. Now he's going to tuck it and run. He's got a lot of room. Shedlock cuts it back, still on his feet, and down inside the 10 on a big scramble to gain the Grand Central first down.
You know, he had some time to throw, got a little bit of rush off his left side, but he had some time, looked down the field. Linebackers on the drop, secondary spread out. You're going to take a look at it right here. He steps back. There's the pressure. And late, right there on the miss, he's able to take it up the field for the first down, and it's going to be 1st and goal from about the 9.
And that puts Crestwood again, Joe, in the Pocono Mountain Visitors Bureau red zone. Schultz will go to the right of Shedlock. Shedlock takes it. And he'll get down to about the 7 for a gain of 2.
Right side. Almost like a single wing play, Marty. Snap and go to the right side. They're up by 14, 2:19 left, clock running, second quarter. Not in any hurry. They have 12 seconds and counting on the play clock.
And if you're Coach Bennett, if they don't score, do you consider maybe using a timeout to try to give yourself another chance here in the first half? A flag has been thrown.
Umpire threw that flag, so I think we're going to have another movement, and that's a good point, Marty. Now it makes it a little more difficult. One of the things you have to look for is the flat again. It's been very, very open for that short pass.
Second and goal from the 12 after the penalty. Shedlock fakes to Schultz, rolls right, throws, got a man. It is caught for a touchdown. Making the catch, Zach Shalowski. And it's a two Italian guys. Pizzeria, Crestwood, touchdown.
What aided that completion is a lot of time to throw the ball because of the sprint, went to the sideline, didn't have any containment. Here you're going to see it across the field. But again, he had time to wait because he took it to the sideline, no real pressure.
Rolls on for the point after. Knight to hold. Kick is up. Good. 1:40 left in the half. It's now 28-7 Crestwood.
Getting to the finish line starts with Lehigh Valley Orthopedic Institute, the region's leader in sports medicine. Our specialists use the most advanced technology for faster, better results, so elite and everyday athletes can compete like champions once again. Lehigh Valley Orthopedic Institute. Your health deserves a partner.
Memberships are available at the Valley Country Club in Sugarloaf. The new upgrades will leave you with a distinctive and unique experience unlike any other venue in Northeast PA. Call Frank Gradis 570-233-5328. Email vccpro@thevalleycountryclub.com.
We are back at Crispin Field. After the play on special teams on the short kick that Lazo hustled down to recover, back-to-back scores by the Comets have them up 28-7 as we're ready for the Barbush Automotive kickoff from Rolls. This one is a deeper kick that Wilk will take at the 10. Wilk is across the 20. Wilk broke a couple tackles, lost the football, and it went out of bounds, and Berwick will retain possession with 1:33 left in the half and 3 timeouts.
Wilk brought down. They're going to have about, as you said, 1:33 to move this ball. They're at the 33-yard line. They have 3 timeouts, I believe, the Bulldogs plus the sidelines. As Shedlock, 12-yard pass.
And that was Shedlock to Shalowski.
Shalowski it was in the flat down the field. He had some time to throw. 5 plays, 25 yards after the interception. After the recovery of the kickoff.
Kishbaugh held to a short gain of about 4 on that pass play.
Pass to Spencer Kishbaugh is completed for a short gain.
Clock continues to run at 1:15 and counting left in the half. Bulldog looking for one of those hidden possessions, Joe. Get a score here. As Kishbaugh goes out of bounds, he gets the Grand Central first down. And remember, Berwick will get the ball to start the third quarter.
The other thing is here, Marty, try to get the ball to one of your people that can maybe catch in space and get it up the field for a big play. As the ball's placed on the right hash First and 10, minute 6 left.
Ball marked at the Bulldog 47. Lonzinski looking, pumps, throws, and he threw it away. Threw it over the head of Billy Hansen. It'll bring up second down. Joe, I know you like to script things, and what better way to start than Ranger Suarez, a scoreless first. Kyle Schwarber, a leadoff home run. It's 1-0 Philadelphia in the first.
Schwarber is capable of hitting home runs, obviously. Did it with the Cubs, now with the Phillies and the Nationals. Lonzinski, good throwaway there, as Crestwood had a defensive man sitting right on it. Another short pass to Kishbaugh, I believe.
And didn't get the first down, but he got the next best thing, got out of bounds after a gain of about 6. 3rd and 4 coming up for the Dogs. Sorry, Joe, 56 seconds left.
I was going to say, Marty, under a minute.
And all 3 Berwick timeouts. Pass over the head of Wilk, incomplete, tight coverage. Rolls was there, and also Miscavige on the help defense as well.
Wilk trying to run that across the middle.
Berwick timeout, they trail 28-7.
All timeout.
We'll keep it here for a critical 4th down.
4th down, trying to set up something that they can keep this drive going.
And Joe, the one thing with the 2 timeouts, the Bulldogs don't have to shy away from the middle of the field either. As we get a look, Joe, can you believe it? Next Friday, the regular season comes to an end, as does our regular season coverage. We'll be at Harmon-Guy Stadium in Hazleton for the big rivalry game. Bulldogs of Berwick, Cougars of Hazleton area. It'll be the Lehigh Valley Health Network Hazleton Game of the Week. We're on the air from Harmon-Guy Stadium next Friday night at 7. Berwick, Hazleton area here on WYLN.
Marty,
last check, sorry, Joe. Cougars up 14-0 here. Berwick trailing 28-7.
That was a good point with the middle of the field, and you have timeouts left. You're going to have 2 after this one. So let's see what the Bulldogs come up with offensively.
So 4th and a long 4 for the Bulldogs. As mentioned, down 28-7 on the Blaze Alexander Family Dealerships of Greater Hazleton scoreboard. 52 seconds and 2 timeouts remaining. Lonzinski goes across the middle and incomplete. I believe he was looking for Kishbaugh, Kakalaichik, and Lincoln Bibla on the coverage. Now Crestwood, 47 seconds, 2 timeouts. Looking to maybe put the dagger in this one if they can get another score before half.
One of the things on the last play is cross the middle, could have made the catch, would have been the first down. Lonzinski didn't take much off that ball, thrown with good velocity, couldn't be handled.
Thought I was sitting next to our late great buddy Tim Thompson when I heard that velocity comment.
I can't even spell velocity.
This is a deep pass by Miscavige. Looking for Rolls, incomplete. Sheptalk was with him step for step.
As you said, Marty, looking to go for what they feel could be the deciding factor here. Throws it deep downfield, but Bo Sheptalk on decent coverage.
2nd and 10 from the Crestwood 47.
Play clock down to 5. Crestwood will have to hurry here, as there seems to still be confusion. And I think they're going to get a timeout before the delay of game. So the Comets will be left with 1 timeout, leading 28-7.
Timeout on the field.
Can't be happy with having to waste a timeout there, Marty.
Joe, what do we always say? You can get big plays from Williamsport. Apparently, Whaley to Slaughter from 31 yards has Williamsport back in the game, trailing 14-7.
Always have had athletes that could hurt you with one play. They're under new leadership, new coach this year, and I know they're struggling a little, but they're always capable.
Second and 10 now for Crestwood. They have one timeout remaining. And this will be Shedlock. He faked a toss and decided to keep it. And Shedlock, running hard, is going to be brought down inside the 45. It's going to depend on the spot. Clock continues to run. They'll say it's 3rd and short.
Sheptock holding on that tackle.
43-yard line for Berwick.
Clock continues to run. Down to 20 seconds and counting. Be able to follow it on the Blaze Alexander Family Dealerships of Greater Hazelton scoreboard. Schultz gets the direct handoff. Looking for room on the outside. He's got a first down and more. Stays in bounds. And they'll stop it for the first down. I'm not sure if he got out of bounds or not on that far sideline. But it is a Grand Central first down, but the clock down to 5 seconds.
What that does, that play gives them a shot at the end zone here if that's what they choose to do. Makes it a little easier than trying to throw it in there from 50.
And the clock is stopped, so he did step out of bounds. Ball marked at the 30, but only 5 seconds remains in the half. Shedlock goes out wide. This is going to be Schultz. Looking to try to get it to the outside, and Schultz will be tackled inside the 20. He'll get one more Grand Central first down, but the clock runs to zeros. Throw a half. Crestwood looking to go 8-1. They're halfway there. Leading the Lehigh Valley Health Network Hazelton Game of the Week 28-7. You're watching it live on WILN.
We've moved to 703 Airport Road. Blaze Alexander, Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram has moved to our new state-of-the-art location with more room for greater selection and our all-new service and parts department. Come see us at our all-new location, Blaze Alexander, Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram, behind Walmart on Airport Road. Taking the deals the other guys won't.
2 Italian Guys Pizzeria, 3 West Diamond Avenue in Hazelton has all your favorites, from pizza, hoagies, salads, entrees, wings, and sides. Always made with the freshest ingredients. Call them at 570-459-2783.
We welcome you back to Crispin Field in Berwick. Here at the half, the Comets of Crestwood looking to go to 8-1, lead it at the half 28-7. It's the Lehigh Valley Health Network Hazelton Game of the Week here on WILN. Week number 9. From here in Crispin Field in Berwick. And I apologize. I said earlier I thought maybe we'd hear from the Berwick High School Marching Band. But instead it is the Crestwood High School Marching Band that is setting up for their halftime performance. This once was a 7-7 game. Berwick on the third offensive possession combined made it 14-7, and then they got a stop defensively scored, and then a big play on special teams resulted in another touchdown for Crestwood, and they lead it here at the half by a score of 28-7.
Marty, some of the things that Crestwood has done well, throwing the ball in the flat well, they rush the ball well, but we've seen them, as I said before, great rushing game, offensive line, very capable.
And making their way out onto the field here at Crispin Field in Berwick is the Crestwood High School Marching Band. They are just about set for their halftime performance as they continue their setup. As they march into position always a big part for these particular students. And they look just about ready. Let's head down field level and hear from the Crestwood High School Marching Band. That has been the Crestwood High School Marching Band with their halftime performance. Outstanding as always. We're getting set. We're going to be looking at the Pocono Mountain Visitors Bureau first half highlights and halftime stats compiled by our very own Jim Burns. But first, let's take a time out and be back from Crispin Field right after this.
Getting to the finish line starts with Lehigh Valley Orthopedic Institute, the region's leader in sports medicine. Our specialists use the most advanced technology for faster, better results, so elite and everyday athletes can compete like champions once again. Lehigh Valley Orthopedic Institute. Your health deserves a partner.
Penn State Hazleton is improving the lives of others, starting in our community.
Providing degrees that meet the needs of the area.
Fueling entrepreneurship and contributing more than $36 million annually to the state's economy.
Researching the health of our local ecosystem on the Susquehanna River.
Together, our impact keeps growing, backed by the strength of 24 campuses and 700,000 alumni.
We move!
We've moved to 703 Airport Road. Blaze Alexander, Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram has moved to our new state-of-the-art location with more room for greater selection and our all-new service and parts department. Come see us at our all-new location, Blaze Alexander, Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram, behind Walmart on Airport Road. Taking the deals the other guys won't.
Hey, it's Justin from Grand Central, here to ask you, is your kitchen ready for an overhaul? We offer free in-home consultation and design, no interest financing, professional removal and installation, countertop and backsplashes, hardwood and laminate floors, kitchen appliance sales, service and installation, and of course, everyday low prices. Grand Central in Hazleton, helping you make your house a home.
Third Base Luncheonette, still making memories after all these years.
We welcome you back to Berwick. A out-of-town score right before halftime. A second touchdown pass from Whaley to Slaughter has tied the game at 14 between Williamsport and Hazleton area. Here, Crestwood in front by a score of 28-7. We're moments away from getting a look at the Pocono Mountain Visitors Bureau. Halftime stats compiled by our very own Jim Burns.
Marty, we're looking at Crestwood with 15 first downs, 187 yards on rushing, 65 passing, 252 total, no turnovers, 4 penalties, 20 yards. The Bulldogs, 4 first downs, 27 yards rushing, 67 yards passing, 94 total yards, no turnovers, 4 penalties, 20 yards. See the Comets dominating both on the ground.
And of those 94 yards for Berwick, Joe, 65 coming on their opening possession that resulted in their lone touchdown. That's been the halftime stats brought to you by Pocono Mountains Visitors Bureau and compiled by our very own Jim Burns. And I believe we're moments away from getting a look at those first half highlights. Start with the opening possession. Shedlock would find some open running room and pick up a first down and more. And Shedlock this time would go through the air. Tonight will be brought down at the 25. This 5-play, 62-yard drive will be capped here by Noah Schultz, getting it to the outside from 25 yards out. 2.5 minutes in, it was 7-0 Crestwood. But the Bulldogs would answer on a total of 54 total yards on this combination of Lonzinski to Spencer Kishbaugh. He would get down the sidelines and get the Bulldogs inside the 10. That would lead to Lonzinski on the quarterback keeper. Game would be tied at 7. But the Comets would answer. They would go 12 plays, 75 yards. Shedlock here with a big gainer down the far sideline before Kishbaugh would bring him down, but not before the Comets got in the red zone, which would set up this 2-yard run from Shedlock. Crestwood was back in front 14-7. Crestwood would get a stop defensively, and this time it would be Shedlock through the air to Schultz. And he would get a big play and a face mask penalty to set up the Comets from 4 yards out to cap a 10-play, 69-yard drive. Shedlock would cut it back inside, pull his way to the end zone. It was 21-7 Comets. Big play on special teams. The ball would just settle down inside the 25. Lazo would hustle down on special teams to recover. Shedlock on a big scramble, needing 15. He would get plenty more down inside the 10. And it would set up Shedlock to Shalosky. That made it 28-7 Crestwood. And that's where we stand at the half. We take another break and be back with third quarter action from Crispin Field. This is the Lehigh Valley Health Network Hazelton Game of the Week, and it's live here on WILN.
Your guide to everything Pocono Mountains is PTN, the Pocono Television Network. Tune in and see all the unique places to stay and things to do in the Pocono Mountains. Watch PTN on WYLN.
SJ Kowalski is your Mitsubishi Diamond Contractor. They can install a Mitsubishi electric Mr. Slim ductless heating and cooling system. Mr. Slim systems are designed to make any living space in your home inviting. You can have a different temperature control for every room in your home. The money-saving technology can save you 25 to 50% on your heating bill. For Mitsubishi, Rinnai, and trained comfort specialists, call SJ Kowalski at 570-455-2600.
BLB Auto Sales, a division of Barbush Automotive. BLB has deals that can't be beat. They carry trucks, vans, SUVs, sedans, and sports cars, and all at the lowest prices. Barbush Automotive can handle all vehicle repairs since they do it all. Check out their specials: oil change and filter, just $19.95. Alignment, $49.95. Professional and good people. Call 570-454-7571.
Get the most bang for your buck. You wanted to save money by cutting the cord, but you still wanted to watch your favorite shows and sports, so you added on, and on, and on. And well, now those add-ons are bills, and those bucks are adding up. Well, cut those bills and save with Service Electric. Service Electric offers hundreds of channels, video on demand, local programming, and choose the internet speed you need. With Service Electric.
There's no better place to shoot than Whitetail Preserve. Their skeet, trap, and sporting clay fields are professionally designed, and all stations are handicap accessible. Whitetail Preserve has resident shooting instructors certified by the NRA in shotgun, rifle, pistol, home safety, and personal protection in the home. Whitetail can also cater any size event, whether it be a private party, corporate event, or wedding. Call 570-384-2314 for more information.
We welcome you back to Berwick, getting ready for third quarter action, 28-7 Crestwood in front. Some individual stats for Crestwood: Noah Schultz, 12 carries, 90 yards, and a touchdown. Freshman Jane Shedlock, 12 carries, 86 yards, 2 touchdowns. Shedlock passing is 6 of 7, 65 yards, and a touchdown. Schultz 2 for 23, Knight 2 for 22. Shalosky 1 for 12 and a touchdown. Skolorowski 1 for 8. For Berwick, quarterback Matt Lonzinski, 4 carries, 20 yards, and a touchdown. 6 of 10 passing, 67 yards. Spencer Kishbaugh, 5 catches, 74 yards. Crestwood dominating the time of possession, 17:58 to 6:02 for Berwick. They've run 35 plays to 18. And the key stat, why is that time of possession so out of whack, Joe? How about third downs? Crestwood 7 for 7. Berwick only 1 for 3.
You know what? If you can go 7 for 7 on third downs, you're going to win a lot of games, I'll tell you what. That's only the first half. I mean, if you can go 80% on third downs, you're going to have a good game. Bulldogs need to respond here. They will receive the kickoff to start the second half.
And we want to remind you, next week will be the regular season finale of the Lehigh Valley Health Network Hazelton Game of the Week. And it takes us to Hazelton Harmon Geist Stadium for the big rivalry between the Cougars of Hazelton area and these very same Berwick Bulldogs. Will be on the air next Friday night at 7. So join us for week number 10 of high school football, Berwick at Hazelton area, right here on WYLN, and we're on the air next Friday night at 7.
To begin the second half, the Bulldogs will be receiving the kickoff, defending the east end zone.
So Berwick, as we mentioned at the end of the first half, will receive the third quarter kickoff. Back deep is Sheptock and Wilk. Crestwood will be coming on for the Barbush Automotive kickoff shortly. And now the Bulldogs will switch ends of the field as Crestwood will go from left to right on your screen in the white.
I'm glad our spotter saw
I'll tell you what.
Referee looking. I knew we were missing something the last couple of games.
We would have been sitting here complaining why we haven't had a kickoff in 15 minutes.
We would still be here when he started basketball practice.
Did you ask him about the Running Rebels coming to town tomorrow?
I haven't, but I will.
And they will not have Jerry Tarkanian.
Okay. Chewing on his towel.
Very short kick covered by the Bulldogs.
Nice job on the recovery. Usually front line will not handle the ball, but that time handled very nicely.
Tyler Winter got on it for the Bulldogs, so they get great field position at their own 43.
Short field for the Bulldogs. 57 yards to Crestwood goal line. Trips left.
And they faked the hand. Lonzinski lost the football, and I believe the Comets have recovered. Coming up with it is Knight.
Lonzinski, after the fake, wanted to take it up the field. My guess is that with the fake, the ball might have bounced out unless we had right there. And great job defensively.
I don't even think you have to ask, Joe. Magnus Bibla.
Bibla is a name we have the last couple of weeks mentioned several times. Magnus Bibla, left-handed, knocks the ball away from Lonzinski.
Shedlock is out wide to the bottom of your screen. As Schultz keeps it, got hit immediately. English was the first one there for the Bulldogs.
Preston English, great job getting to the ball. Here you're going to see it. Takes that little hop step to the right, but right there, English with a great hit at the line of scrimmage. 2nd down and 10 for the Comets.
They fake tonight. Shedlock downfield had an open man, but he was hit as he threw. He was looking for Bibla, but credit Harrison Snyder with the pass pressure.
Harrison Snyder played pass defense on that play. Ran Shedlock down because we had a receiver open downfield, forcing a 3rd down.
And if Crestwood would have connected, it wouldn't have mattered, as the Comets, and it'll be marched off against them, were called for a personal foul chop block. That'll bring it back into Comet territory. All the way back to the 42-yard line of Crestwood.
Marty, chop block is the defender is engaged by someone, and another player offensively comes usually from the outside, can't defend himself, and that is illegal. So we're looking at a 3rd, about 25.
Looking for the screen, and incomplete. You could almost see it. Lincoln Bibla, Joe, looking ahead before he had the football.
Marty wanted to run. He wanted to run. He saw the rush up the field, and he wanted to take off. Didn't handle the ball, so we're looking at third
and 25.
down.
Get a look at that
There's
SJ
a great
Kowalski
look
replay.
of the rush up the field, and there you see it. You could see his head turn.
So to give it to Schultz, trying to find room to the outside. Now he cuts it back, but Tristan English got a hand on him, waited for some help. They'll officially rule him stopped after a gain of about 5. It'll bring up 4th and 20.
They have made great yardage on the sweep play. That time picked up about 8 or 9, but then the Bulldogs jumped on him. So Crestwood looks to punt it away.
Rolls is out for the BLB Auto Sales punt. Dre Wilk back deep for the Bulldogs. Wilk will take it at the 13. Wilk looking for some room. He'll be brought down at about the 27-yard line. Lazo on the tackle.
Wilk did a great job of fielding that punt. Looked like he might have some room, but Crestwood does a nice job on punt coverage. Bulldogs start their offense, their own 32.
Joe, in Philadelphia, it remains 1-0 in the bottom of the second, but they are threatening Bryson Stott. A double has him at second with 1 out in the second against Joe Musgrove and the Padres. Here are the Bulldogs trying to cut into a 28-7 deficit. Got a big stand defensively and now have it back after the turnover.
They have to establish some continuity on offense. They just having a tough time with that. And there you see why.
Wilk tried the end around, but Crestwood strung him out nicely, and taking the snap at quarterback was Ethan Lear.
You see Lear as Wilk slowed up behind the line of scrimmage.
It was Lincoln Bibla that got through, and then Knight made the tackle.
And then Bibla really was the one that slowed Wilk down. Bulldogs looking at second down, about 12, 13.
Lonzinski back in. Rolls right, throws, looking for Wilk out of bounds, incomplete.
Off the play fake, tried to go to the field and was looking for Wilkes on a...
And Joe, I know the offense, and rightly so, gets a lot of the ink, if you will. But I'll tell you, seeing this team for 2.5 games, I'm very impressed with this Crestwood defense. A lot of the same characters you see offensively, but they're very good defensively.
You know what they do? They take care of their responsibility. They're very aggressive. They run the field well. They can tackle. I mean, and they have some athletes. The two Biblas, very good. Knight's a nice player. Kakalachek is a good linebacker. I mean, they just have a good group of players at this point. As we're looking at Berwick on a third down situation.
Official timeout to let Knight relace his shoes. Phillies do not score, heading to the third, remaining 1-0 Philadelphia. Here, 9:24 left in the third on the Blaze Alexander Family Dealerships of Greater Hazleton scoreboard. 28-7 Crestwood in front. Lonzinski faked the handoff, going deep downfield. He's got Slabinski into open field, inside the 10, and Knight will bring him down at the 4. Big pass play, Lonzinski to Slabinski, and it's a Grand Central first down for the Bulldogs.
I'll tell you what, the secondary just fell asleep back there as Slabinski's able to get behind that secondary. Lonzinski had some time to throw it. Finally brought down by Knight. But the Bulldogs setting up at the 4-yard line.
First and goal as they enter the Pocono Mountain Visitors Bureau red zone. Trying to cut into a 21-point deficit are the Bulldogs. Lonzinski keeps, follows his man. And no signal yet. He's in for 2 Italian guys. Pizzeria. Berwick touchdown, the second of the night for Matt Lonzinski.
Berwick with a lot of people at the point of attack. Lonzinski takes it in after making that throw. Bulldogs 28-13. There you see Leonard pulling is in front of Lonzinski.
And an injured Berwick player, that may be Sheptalk, as he is down, so we'll wait on the point after. This game is brought to you in part by Service Electric Cable TV and Communications, providing our subscribers with the highest level of service at the best value. Bundle and save! Call today, 570-825-8508. Service Electric Cable TV and Communications. And by Antonio's Pizza, 501 Main Street in Whitehaven. Family owned and operated for over 30 years. Home cooked Italian meals from pizza to pasta dishes. Call Antonio's Pizza today, 570-443-9776. Antonio's Pizza in Whitehaven. And Sheptalk is up, leaving under his own power. So hopefully he'll be all right to return to this ball game. And Berwick will come on for the point after. And it'll be Peters on for the left-footed kick. Wilk to hold. And the kick is up and over and good. 8:40 left in the third. Berwick now trailing 28-14.
The 44th Annual American Cancer Society Telethon will be broadcast live on WYLN TV 35 from the Pennsylvania Theater of Performing Arts in downtown Hazleton. Watch it live on TV from 12 noon to 11 p.m. or come down and join us in person. There's Tricky Trays bake sales, live entertainment, and more. Year 44, sweeping cancer out the door.
We welcome you back to Crispin Field in Berwick. The Bulldogs now down 14, getting ready for a Barbush Automotive kickoff. And it'll be Peters to kick it away. High, short kick, fair catch called for at the 32. And
kickoff by Peters
that was
for the Bulldogs.
Fair catch was taken by Shalosky, Zach Shalosky.
I'll tell you what, Shalosky made a heads-up play rather than try to be the ball carrier. Marty Berwick's last touchdown, Lonzinski right side, 4-yard run. Peters with the kick. Lonzinski to Slabinski was 72 yards to set that up.
Coach, if that was me, I can't guarantee I'd have good ball security, but I would have been running. I don't know how far I would have got, but this is Shedlock, and he got hit hard and fell forward. Gain of about 3, and Shedlock is still down. He took a hard hit.
There was a collision. Shedlock's tough, jumps back up, but it will take a look here on the replay. Makes the fake, goes to the right side. Right there, encountered a good lick.
I believe that might have been Hansen, Joe, that delivered the hit.
Came over from that linebacker position.
And we certainly hope Shedlock is okay. As training staff had to come out, so he has to leave for a play. Play clock down to 3, and Crestwood will need a timeout, leading 28-14.
Crestwood calls timeout on the field.
We'll keep it here with 8:05 left.
6 seconds remaining. Third quarter.
Here in the third. And Joe, this almost has the feel of a critical series here for the Bulldogs defensively. Crestwood had taken the momentum late stages of that second quarter and seemed to have it when they got the turnover, but the penalty set Crestwood back, and then the nice drive by Berwick. It almost seems like Bulldogs trying to bring that momentum back to their sideline.
I think that's right, Marty. The other part is this is the part of the game that the offensive line for Crestwood has been very good. They opened with the first down, picked up maybe 3 yards, but you expect, obviously you've shown tonight that they can throw the football, so you don't want to sit on the run hard, but you want to respect the run, make sure you're aware of the passing situation. It's 2nd and 8.
This will be Rolls. Loses the football, but I think he got on top of it.
It bounced directly back to Rolls, and now we're going to have a 3rd down. Here's a situation. We were talking about this. Another 3rd down conversion. Crestwood the first half, Marty, very, very good with 3rd down conversions.
Are you trying to say we black-catted them with the 7 for 7 stat and 0 for 1 here in the second half?
I don't know that we black-catted them, but the 0 for 1, as you mentioned, in the second half. Let's see what they do with this.
Shedlock back out there, and he looks to lead the way for Schultz, who bounces it outside. First down, and Morty's down the sideline. Breaking away is Noah Schultz. He will score a 2 Italian guys pizzeria. Crestwood touchdown from 61 yards out.
I'll tell you what, Marty, kid has great, once he gets to the corner and turns it up, he has very, very deceiving speed. I mean, he can get it up the field. Right here, you're going to see it. Step, 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 turns up the field. It dips in and out, but right here, just runs away from Berwick defenders. Noah Schultz.
Saw a couple blocks there that I would make just get in the way.
That's all you need. When you have a back like that, and people talk about crushing blocks, you don't need it. All you need to do is get in the person's way. They hesitate a second, and Schultz, his speed takes over.
Touchdown comes at the 7:16 mark, 3rd quarter.
We had an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty against Crestwood. A sideline warning, I believe. So Rolls will come for the point after. And the kick is up and good. So Crestwood regains their 21-point lead. 7:15 remaining in the 3rd.
Crestwood 35.
Getting to the finish line starts with Lehigh Valley Orthopedic Institute, the region's leader in sports medicine. Our specialists use the most advanced technology for faster, better results, so elite and everyday athletes can compete like champions once again. Lehigh Valley Orthopedic Institute. Your health deserves a partner.
Memberships are available at the Valley Country Club in Sugarloaf. The new upgrades will leave you with a distinctive and unique experience unlike any other venue in Northeast PA. Call Frank Gradis 570-233-5328. Email vccpro@thevalleycountryclub.com.
Noah Schultz, we talked about momentum, brought it all back to the Crestwood sideline. Big run has Crestwood back up by 21 as we get ready for the Barbush Automotive kickoff. Wasn't in sportsmanlike conduct penalty against Crestwood. Coach Bennett elected to have the yardage taken on the kickoff. So Rolls will be kicking it from his own 25, trying to set up good field position for the Bulldogs.
Noah Schultz, 61 yards. He not only converted the 3rd down, he scored a touchdown. PAT was good.
So Crestwood kicking off from their 25.
This will be Wilk from the 30. Trying to come to the nearest sideline. Bibla brings him down in open field, but his helmet came with it, and they may get a face mask on Lincoln Bibla, but other than that, great play in the open field on special teams.
We talked about their coverage last week. Coverage was very good. Bibla, he caught Wilk's helmet while he was bringing him down, so that's going to be a penalty. Berwick's going to have fairly decent
should start right from midfield, Joe, as we get a look at it on the S.J. Kowalski replay.
Wilk slowed down as you see the helmet come off. That's Bibla. Great kickoff coverage.
And Joe, not to give a lot of teams in the Wyoming Valley headaches, but Lincoln Bibla is only a sophomore.
He's a player, as is that defense as a whole. They can get to the ball. They're physical.
So for midfield, Sheptalk back in the game, doesn't find a lot of room. Brought down for a loss of about 5, and there was that Magnus Bibla and a late flag thrown, so we'll wait for the call there.
I think there's a little bit of jawing going on right now, Marty, and that's going to be against Crestwood.
To the 47-yard line, 2nd and 13. But a penalty.
Sure, Coach Ark is not real excited about the penalty situation. That penalty will be enough for the first down. Berwick trying to get the ball outside. Crestwood, great containment, and they are interior of their defensive line is getting to the ball carrier.
Grand Central first down, takes it all the way to the Crestwood 38, 1st and 10, 3 receivers set to the bottom of your screen. They're going to give it to Kishbaugh. Lanzinski in front blocking. Kishbaugh, it's going to depend on the spot. Very close to a first down. Looks like they'll spot him out of bounds at the 30 after a gain of 8.
Not a bad call, Marty. Get their defense moving. They're very aggressive. Get them moving in one direction and go back to the other. And as you said, almost the first down. Went out of bounds at the 30, so we need 2 yards for the first.
Joe, I know you were impressed with this young man a couple weeks ago. Connor Kundrat, first play of the second half, goes 52 yards. 2-point conversion, good. Hazelton area back in front, 22-14.
The last time we saw them, Connor Kundrat had a great game.
This is a handoff to Wilt, trying to find room somewhere. Miscavige came up on run defense and made the tackle for a loss of about a yard.
Wilt trying to bounce it outside, stayed level the whole time, couldn't get the ball up the field. So they lost about a yard, maybe 2. So it's going to be 3rd and long 3 for the Bulldogs.
Halfway through the third quarter on the Blaze Alexander Family Dealerships of Greater Hazelton scoreboard, 35-14 Crestwood. Sheptalk out wide to the top of your screen, Hansen at the bottom. Play action, Lanzinski lowers his shoulder, gets just barely across the 30. It's going to bring up 4th and short.
Yeah, we're going to have 4th and 1, but it's 4 down territory for the Bulldogs. They don't, obviously.
But they're going to have to bring Lear in the game, Joe, as Lanzinski lost his helmet on the play. So Lanzinski, with losing his helmet, has to sit out of play. So Lear will be in on 4th and a long 1.
That's automatic for people who don't know that. Once your helmet comes off, you out for 1 play.
Fake to Sheptalk. Lear lowers his shoulder, and he appears to have enough for the Grand Central. Berwick first down.
Smart play by the Bulldogs. Straight ahead. Don't try to get to the corner because they're doing too good of a job of containing. Lear goes straight up the field, and Ethan Lear will go back. Bulldogs pick up the first. 4:48 left, clock running, third quarter.
1st and 10 Bulldogs. Lear remains in. Fumble on the snap, but I think Sheptalk got on it as the Bulldogs avert disaster.
One of the things, Marty, you have a new quarterback in the game, just a little different rhythm, little different feel.
2nd and 13.
Ball on the ground, so Lanzinski now coming back in the game. Sheptock was almost to the line of scrimmage. Lear was trying to reach for him.
Lonzinski rolls right, throws, pass complete. Kishbaugh got pushed back, and he stayed on his feet and gained an extra yard to the 24. It's going to bring up third down and about 6.
They have 2 downs to work with here. That play has been pretty good for the Bulldogs all year, that Lonzinski to Kishbaugh combination. They've been able to come up with good yardage and some touchdowns, which they need right now to stay in the ball game.
Lonzinski looking, across the middle, caught, complete, trying to get to the end zone, and in for a 2 Italian guys. Pizzeria, touchdown is Dre Wilk.
Wilk with a great catch there, because Lonzinski again throws a zipper right across the middle. They were trying to complete that earlier, finally hit it. Touchdown Bulldogs.
So Wilk will hold. First big connection tonight that we've seen of Lonzinski to Wilk results in 6. Peters will try to make it 7. And I think Peters was anticipating the snap and move forward. I believe that'll be the call.
Stepped up the field. That you're going to see Wilk here on this crossing pattern. Good job by the offensive line for Berwick. And Wilk runs out of a tackle, then runs away from a tackle. 4-6. Peters trying to make it 21.
His kick is up, and it's good. 3:15 left in the third. 35-21 Comets.
Getting to the finish line starts with Lehigh Valley Orthopedic Institute, the region's leader in sports medicine. Our specialists use the most advanced technology for faster, better results, so elite and everyday athletes can compete like champions once again. Lehigh Valley Orthopedic Institute. Your health deserves a partner.
We live life in the cloud. It's how we work, how we learn, how we laugh. It connects us to the ones we love, near and far. We at Service Electric have been working hard to upgrade our system, a local company providing you the fastest, most reliable internet. No contracts, no bandwidth limits. You choose the speed you need, and Service Electric will take you as fast as you want to go.
We welcome you back to Crispin Field. It's the Lehigh Valley Health Network Hazelton Game of the Week. Bulldogs again make it a 14-point game.
Now they have to play defense.
And it'll start with Luke Peters and the Barbush Automotive kickoff. High, short kick, and again Shalosky calls for the fair catch. Drops to his knees, and once again, Comets start at their own 32.
And once again, mention that Shalosky does a good job with that. Anytime a person who is a quasi-running back, tight end sometimes with the catch, tight end screen, but he fair catches, 32-yard line. Marty Wilk, last Bulldog touchdown, 24-yard pass, lot from Lonzinski. Peters kick, good, 8 plays, 50 yards, 35-21. Crestwood up.
Fake to Schultz. Shedlock is grabbed by English and he'll be dropped for a loss.
Now that time English backside did a good job. Shedlock was trying to find his way up the field. Take a look at this. He takes a step after the fake and then just sort of, but here comes English along with Snyder.
Call it a loss of 2, back to the 30, 2nd and 12.
Pay attention. Ball's not snapped. I'm going to tell you right now, and it's effective, but you have to look at this with that quick motion. That's an attempt to draw. looks like an attempt to draw a person off sides. Sometimes they'll call that on the offense. So far tonight, Crestwood has done a good job going to the shift.
This is Schultz not finding a lot of room as the Bulldogs converge on him defensively for another tackle for loss.
Well, they shut off the outside. Schultz then looked back inside, but the backside of the defense doing a much better job. Excellent job there by Snyder again, and then he had a lot of help from his friends. So we're looking at 3rd down and about 8.
Clock under 2 minutes on the Blaze Alexander Family Dealership of Greater Hazleton third quarter scoreboard. They fake the night. Shedlock rolling left, looking. He's got the outside, and he looked like he had the angle to get out of bounds. A late flag, a late couple of flags, as I think we're going to have a late hit out of bounds against Berwick. So they'll get the first down run plus the penalty and a Grand Central first down.
Shedlock, great job getting to the corner and turning it up. Looked like he wanted to look downfield. Had no contain, so he just turned it up for the first down. And as you mentioned, Marty, looked like maybe a late hit on the sideline against the Bulldogs. Berwick's defense very good. But right here, again, on the corner.
First down for Crestwood, 15-yard penalty being
Harrison Snyder trying to chase Shedlock down, but we're talking about a defensive end who runs okay, but Shedlock really has good speed and turns it up for the first down plus the penalty.
Ball all the way to the 42 of Berwick after the penalty.
He's got to be wide. He's wide, it's spread.
Schultz gets the direct handoff, and there he goes. 42 yards for Noah Schultz and the 2 Italian guys. Pizzeria. Crestwood touchdown.
Offensive line. Just give me a crease there, fellas, and I'll get it to the end zone. That's Noah Schultz. And here you see it. Takes the step back. Now he has a convoy headed up by Aiden Jardine, plus several of his teammates at the point of attack.
Low snap. The Knight corrals and gets it down for Rolls. Kick is good. 1:32 left in the third. 42-21 Comets.
Third Base Luncheonette, still making memories after all these years.
We move! We've moved to 703 Airport Road. Blaze Alexander, Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram has moved to our new state-of-the-art location with more room for greater selection and our all-new service and parts department. Come see us at our all-new location, Blaze Alexander, Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram, behind Walmart on Airport Road. Taking the deals the other guys won't.
Joe Noah Schultz, 16 carries, 197 yards, 3 touchdowns, the latest coming on the last offensive play. Rolls ready for the Barbush Automotive kickoff. And may have had offsides on the kicking team. We'll wait and see.
I believe that's the call, Marty. Marty, touchdown, Schultz, left side. Aiden Jardine, one of the blockers, leading the way. 42 yards. Rolls with the kick. 4 plays. 60 yards plus 243. The Comets double up the Bulldogs, 42-21. .132 left.
This kick will send Wilk back to his 13. And on the Barbush Automotive re-kick, Wilk only gets to the 18. That's where Berwick will start trailing 42-21.
To the 18-yard line.
Joe, in Philadelphia, the Padres have tied it at 1 and are still threatening with 2 on and 1 out. Here, Noah Schultz starting to take this game over.
Well, Marty, 200 yards rushing and not a lot of rushes. It just shows you the ability that young man has, and we've seen him over the years developed into a very, very good running back.
Miscavige came up and made the play on the pass play to Hansen that gets nothing for the Bulldogs.
Well, needs to be a little quicker offensively. Miscavige read it right now, and he's up on here. What you're trying to do is get the wide receiver in a little space so he can get it up the field. Didn't happen. Miscavige with a nice play defensively. We're looking at under a minute in the third quarter.
This passes to Wilk. Try to get away from Bibla, and there may be another face mask penalty against the Crestwood defense.
Short yardage across the 20.
They're going to mark it, Marty, about the 23 or 4, I believe, but let's see what the flag brings is a face mask.
So another first down via penalty coming up for Berwick.
So a break for the Bulldogs as we are nearing the end of the third quarter.
5-yard penalty assessed for Bulldogs. They pick up a first down.
Skivvis to Sheptok. And Sheptok will be tackled out across the 30. Crestwood says there was a fumble and they had the football. Do the officials agree on that sideline?
Crestwood a little upset, so I don't think the officials are agreeing. Looked like maybe it was out of bounds. I'm not sure, but Berwick, I think, maintains possession.
Call it 2nd and 6 from the 31. Some movement up front. Did the defense force the offense off? And it's going to be an offside against the defense.
Magnus Bibla stepping up the field.
5 yards.
So I'll make it 2nd and 1.
2nd and 1.
Lonzinski looks, being pressured, and he'll be dropped. A flag is down. I thought I saw Lonzinski's head move. I wonder if maybe we possibly got another face mask.
Not sure, Marty, but the tackle was high, and a lot of times that leads to a penalty, and it is a face mask.
Against the Comets, a face mask penalty.
It's a 5-yard variety, but it's enough for another Grand Central first down via penalty. Berwick does not have to run another play. They'll have to hurry if they do want to run one as the game clock continues to run. And we're at zeros through 3. Crestwood 42, Berwick 21. You're watching the Lehigh Valley Health Network Hazelton Game of the Week, and it's live here on WILN.
SJ Kowalski is your Mitsubishi Diamond Contractor. They can install a Mitsubishi electric Mr. Slim ductless heating and cooling system. Mr. Slim systems are designed to make any living space in your home inviting. You can have a different temperature control for every room in your home. The money-saving technology can save you 25 to 50% on your heating bill for Mitsubishi, Rinnai, and trained comfort specialists. Call SJ Kowalski at 570-455-2600.
BLB Auto Sales, a division of Barbush Automotive. BLB has deals that can't be beat. They carry trucks, vans, SUVs, sedans, and sports cars, and all at the lowest prices. Barbush Automotive can handle all vehicle repairs since they do it all. Check out their specials: oil change and filter, just $19.95. Alignment, $49.95. Professional and good people. Call 570-454-7571.
We welcome you back to Crispin Field in Berwick. 42-21 Crestwood in front. Berwick will start the fourth with a 1st and 10 at their own 38.
Marty, beginning of the fourth quarter, if you're going to try to come back in this game, you need to start the process right here.
Fake short. Lonzinski looking deep for Kishbaugh, and out of his hands, incomplete.
One of the problems, Kishbaugh, it was a good throw by Lonzinski down the field. Kishbaugh slowed his route up and then turned toward Lonzinski. It was backpedaling.
And I think some pressure may have forced Lonzinski to short arm it a little bit from Alex Yaskevich, the sophomore for Crestwood. Berwick takes a timeout, trailing 42-21. We'll keep it here.
Timeout on the field called by the Bulldogs.
We've been talking about the Hazelton area Cougars on 4th down. Wolf to Kundrat from 19 yards. It's 28-14 Hazelton area, which reminds us, starting Wednesday at 7, it's Sports Talk, your weekly source for Hazelton area high school football with head coach Dennis Bookman. He'll go over tonight's game against Williamsport, a look ahead to their regular season finale at home against Berwick, and have a special guest from the Cougar football program. That's Sports Talk beginning Wednesday at 7 with Hazelton area head football coach Dennis Bookman.
Hazelton looking like a playoff team. And I believe that's a 2-11, District 2, District 11.
Part of the sub-regional.
Sub-regional.
Coming up in a couple weeks. Williamsport needing to do some work to get in. And here Berwick needing to do some work, trailing 42-21 and a full fourth quarter to go. Lonzinski over the middle, incomplete. He's looking for Sheptalk.
Little high as Lear comes in the game. Not at quarterback, at wide receiver as Lonzinski hits the play. 3rd and 10.
Lonzinski was hit by Biblaw, looking for Wilk and just out of his reach, incomplete. But a flag is down. I wonder if they'll rule that if it wasn't a hold on offense, if Biblaw went too low, but they'll say holding on the offense. So it's either 4th and 10 or accept the penalty and 3rd and very long.
Marty, protection wasn't bad. The hold notwithstanding, and I think they're going to decline the penalty and force the 4th down. Let's see what the Bulldogs have in mind. Looks like they're going to make or line up at least to go for it.
For the Bulldogs, offense staying on the field from the 38.
Lonzinski to pass. Looks, has a man. It's Kishbaugh at midfield, and it's good enough for the Grand Central first down.
I'll be honest with you, I know you're behind by 21, but great throw by Lonzinski on that curl ball at about 15 to 18 yards, picks up the first down. Kishbaugh with a very good catch, but the throw was excellent, and the offensive line doing what they need to do, pass protect in this kind of situation.
Gonna run in reverse, and Wilk's gonna pass it, and it's picked off. Cole Kakalachik with the interception.
Number 11.
Kakalachik really did a nice job from his linebacker position. He dropped and followed the flow of the play, was in front. Wilk thought he saw a person down the field, made the throw, but really didn't have anything on it, Marty. Going to take a look at it, I think, right here. There you see it as Wilk comes around. Now he's starting the line of scrimmage, but he slows down there to make the throw. Kakalachik does a great job on the coverage. 11 minutes, 4th quarter.
On the interception turnover,
Crestwood Comets
from the 38-yard line.
Looking to go 8-1.
Shedlock came in motion that time, and look who's down the sideline. Kishbaugh trying to get him. Schultz slows down. Kishbaugh bring him down inside the 15, but not before another big run for a Grand Central first down and Noah Schultz.
Shedlock, nice job on the left side. Again, he shows a little bit of speed, makes the great job at the line of scrimmage. You have 2 linemen right side pulling left. You have a back coming up. Kishbaugh has an engine that doesn't quit. It makes the tackle down the field.
That gain of 50 gives Noah Schultz 247 yards on the night.
Great job again by the offensive line. And here they pull to the right side.
Shedlock tucks it. And in for the 2 Italian guys, Pizzeria. Crestwood touchdown as the Comets once again strike in the Pocono Mountain Visitors Bureau red zone.
They go to 48 and looking to tack on one more for 49. But here you see the fake off a spin. Shedlock looks like maybe he's thinking about throwing it there, but then finally gets it to the corner of the end zone.
And the kick is up and good. 10-14 remaining. 49-21 Comets.
Struggling to get a good night's sleep? Then look no further. Grand Central is here to help. Grand Central Sealy experts will set you straight. When you buy your mattress at Grand Central, you can expect free delivery and setup, free removal of the old unit, and interest-free financing for up to 60 months. And of course, Grand Central's everyday low prices. Grand Central in Hazleton, helping you make your house a home.
Your guide to everything Pocono Mountains is PTN, the Pocono Television Network. Tune in and see all the unique places to stay and things to do in the Pocono Mountains. Watch PTN on WYLN.
We welcome you back to Berwick, Crestwood. Talked about Schultz's night. How about Jaden Shedlock? I believe I heard 18 carries, 106 yards, and another 3 touchdowns for the Comets as they are up 49-21.
And that yardage was 2 big runs, one for the touchdown.
This Barbush Automotive kickoff will be fair caught by Slabinski at the 35.
Marty Crestwood, last touchdown. Shedlock, 12-yard run right side. Two plays, 62 yards with the PAT. Comets up 28.
Schultz went for 50, Shedlock for 12 in the touchdown. Quick 2-play drive, and here's Berwick down 49-21. Slinging out to Sheptalk. Miscavige was waiting for him and brought him down for a loss.
Berwick has been fairly successful with trying to get the ball in the corner to Kishbar, Wilk, or Sheptalk, but Crestwood has done a great job here. They're on the ball right now. Really don't give Sheptalk any room to create some space. Defensively playing very well are the Comets.
Call it 2nd and 12 from the 28. Or excuse me, 33, and just out of the reach of Sheptalk, but it looked like Lonzinski was hit again as he tried to throw.
Yeah, he had some pressure on him, Marty. Got it out, but a little bit overthrown as Berwick looking at a 3rd and 12. I understand you're down by a couple of touchdowns, maybe more than a couple, but you can't abandon the run game, whether it be a draw or whatever the case might be, and strictly go to the pass, especially with that defensive front on the rush.
And that one's picked off! Miscavige! Another big play defensively!
Great coverage by Miscavige. Kishbaugh trying to do the crossing pattern. Lonzinski made the throw, but Miscavige, who's played very well tonight, jumped all over that. And here you see Lonzinski coming out of the fake, making the throw. And there you see Miscavige. Made a great break on the ball.
So a 9:27 remaining on the Blaze Alexander family dealerships of Greater Hazleton scoreboard. Crestwood will come out looking to take some time off this clock. And it's Schultz with another big run. Wilk will bring him down, but not before he picks up the Grand Central first down to the 44.
Schultz over 200 yards rushing. Really has put on an exhibition tonight. Helped by that, and I always mention them, Marty, they're dear to my heart, the offensive line.
Gonna hand it off to Knight. He spins again, and gets maybe a yard.
Little extracurricular activity in the secondary after the play stopped at the line of scrimmage. Taking their time, and as you mentioned, Marty,
And they can look at the scoreboard for the game clock and the play clock right under it. They shift. I don't know if they're going to be lined up properly before the play clock wore out, but I think Crestwood takes a timeout, leading 49-21.
They shifted Marty to that unbalanced right. Coach Ark made the call for a timeout. 2nd and 8, 8:06 on the clock, fourth quarter.
And Joe, I haven't seen everybody in District 2 4A, but seeing these Comets 3 straight weeks, whoever lines up with them in the tournament is going to have their hands full with this football team.
No doubt about it. They're going to be formidable. I don't know who we're looking at, who they're looking at. Might be their opponent, but as you mentioned, Marty, the last couple of weeks they've been a good football team.
So after the timeout, they'll come 2nd and 9. Schultz got the direct snap. Bulldogs stack him up in the middle. Down in the backfield is Shalosky for Crestwood.
Do stop him after a short gain on the play.
Shalosky's slow getting up, but I think he's going to have to leave. His attention came from the Crestwood sideline that stopped the clock. So Shalosky will have to leave for at least the play, but he is walking off under his own.
Crestwood looking at a 3rd and 9, Marty. That time Berwick did a good job defensively as Schultz was biding his time looking to get up the field, but Bulldogs right there. Again, using a lot of the clock, which they can afford to do at this point, as we go down to 7:30 left in the ball game.
Shedlock rolls right, looking, throws, caught. Believe that was Magnus Bibla. Good for another Grand Central first down.
Bibla with a good catch, but Shedlock with an impressive throw. And something that we were talking about, Marty,
Pass completed
as we look at
and it has a gain of 12 yards
Shedlock.
and a first down.
He is a
to the
freshman,
31.
putting in impressive the last 2 weeks.
They'll give it again to Schultz and another tackle for Tristan English.
Schultz on the carry. Tristan English and Spencer Kishbaugh assist in making the tackle. Gain of 3.
Kishbaugh got a hand on him, then Tristan English finished him off. Coach Ark using both game clock as well as the play clock. They're going to snap it under 10 seconds.
And it again will be a handoff to Knight. And he's played a nice game tonight. Another tackle for Harrison Snyder.
He has played fairly well, but Knight trying to get back inside in that right to left, and Snyder stayed home, did a good job, made the tackle.
Clock approaching 5:30 remaining. That was Miscavige that time.
Left side to pick up the first down, Marty, again, as you can take a look at this. Pulling right to left.
Was good for a Grand Central first down to the 21.
John Jones that time leading the convoy.
And it's Miscavige again, trying to get it to the outside, but Berwick strings him out nicely, forces him to go out of bounds and stop the clock.
Rolled right, pushed out of bounds.
At this point, Marty, defense really should need work towards a turnover, trying to tackle the football. We talked about Crestwood's impressive ground game. Part of that is they really don't turn it over with fumbles.
That was Rolls this time on the carry.
I'll tell you, great job by Tristan English coming up to make that tackle for the Bulldogs. So we're going to look at a 3rd and about 11.
By Tristan English, no gain on the play. 3rd and 11. We have a baseball score from the National League. Top of the 5th, Philadelphia 3, San Diego 1.
Third down and 11. And Knight got the handoff, but Berwick not full defensively.
Tackled for a 2-yard loss on the
English
play.
and Snyder there on the play.
Good stop by the Bulldogs, forcing a 4th down. Obviously, you're in 4-down territory.
4th and 12.
Berwick takes a timeout, trailing 49-21.
On the field, 3:39 remaining in the contest. Timeout, Berwick.
Keep it here with 3:33 remaining.
Marty, one of the things you look at here, now you're playing for a little bit of pride if you're the Bulldogs. They're down 28. Want to make a stop here and try to go to offense, put something else on the board.
So Crestwood has to get to the Berwick 11 for a first down. It's 4th down and 13 next week. These Bulldogs will be at Harmon-Geist Stadium in Hazleton to take on the Cougars of Hazleton area. We will be on the air next Friday night at 7 for the regular season finale of the Lehigh Valley Health Network Hazleton Game of the Week. Bulldogs Cougars next Friday night at 7. And Crestwood will take their final timeout.
Another timeout then on the field, this time called by
Coach Hart
Crestwood.
Called the timeout. Take a look at that Berwick defense. see what he wanted to do to counter that defense as Berwick coaches out at the numbers talking to players.
So Crestwood out of timeouts. 3:33 remaining, 4th and 13 coming up for their offense.
You know, Marty, our spotter, Coach Flanagan, and I were talking, and we said, you know, sometimes it's not the X's and the O's, but the Jimmies and the Joes.
Rolls is going to get a nice gain of 5, but not enough for the first. And it'll be Berwick ball with 3:27 remaining in Philadelphia in the bottom of the 5th. It's 3-2 Phillies. Game 3 of the NLCS.
Moves the ball down close to the 20-yard line.
And here, Joe, 3:27 away is Coach Ark and his Comets to improving to 8-1 on the campaign. They'll have welcome North Pocono
take over on down.
in their regular season home finale next Friday. And as we mentioned, Berwick will be back on our airwaves next Friday night at Harmon Geist Stadium to take on the Cougars of Hazleton area.
At the Berwick 20.
Then the week after, Crestwood will look at a playoff game, obviously. Not sure who the opponent will be.
Lonzinski got hit trying to run away, and I think we may end up with another face mask against the Crestwood defense.
I believe you're right, Marty. You raked the mask. I don't know if the tackler ever grabbed it.
Comes out close to the 25-yard line where he was
I
tackled.
believe you're right. Probably a 5-yard.
The 5 yards may be enough for the first down. As the ball currently marked at the 26. We'll go to the 31, and it's a Grand Central first down via penalty.
Assessed, and it's the first down for Berwick.
Lonzinski looking for Wilk, and he overshot him, incomplete. Schultz there on the coverage.
Trying to get the ball down the field at this point, Marty.
Incomplete.
Talked about throwing the ball in the 15 to 20-yard range, but Bulldogs, with 3 minutes left in the fourth quarter, down 28, don't have that luxury. So looking to hit the home run. Incompletion stops the clock. We go to second down.
Berwick will have to hustle the play clock down to 5. 3. They get it off. Pass incomplete, looking for Lear. Rolls on the coverage.
Left side pass is...
Rolls does a good job on coverage. Jumped on the receiver.
3rd and 10.
Ball was thrown fairly well. Lear just couldn't handle it. So we'll have a 3rd and 10.
Pressure coming from the Comets. Flag is down. Yaskevich brought down Lonzinski. But we'll check the flag.
I'll tell you what, tough on the offensive line when you have a defense that's coming after you. They know you're going to throw. It's 3rd and 10. They're down by 28. And you're asking your offensive line to line up and try to block. We had a flag down which against Berwick, which will be declined, and we're
3rd and long.
4th down situation for the Bulldogs.
Our Blaze Alexander Family Dealerships of Greater Hazleton scoreboard says 4th and 18. Coach, go back to that playbook. You got a lot there?
No.
No.
What you'd like to have is the Eagles' offensive line, because Lonzinski's right here going to be sacked. Really couldn't get the ball away, Marty. Great pass rush by the Comets.
And as this night continues, Lonzinski, number 12, may be sick of looking at that number 12 across the way.
Well, I mean, Crestwood's we knew that coming in, Marty. Crestwood's a very good football team. I mean, make no mistake about it. They can play. The only loss they have, amazingly enough, is the team that Berwick beat by 15 or 17 points. But Crestwood 8-1, and they've been the games we've had. They've been dominant.
Called by the Bulldogs.
Bulldogs take their final timeout, and this may be more, maybe to get some subs in and make sure everybody's in the right position, because it looks like across the way some of the other players are going to get in for Crestwood, which includes quarterback Jason Swank wearing number 9.
Well, we saw a lot of these players that are on the field now last week against Hanover area, and so for the last 2 minutes and 20 seconds, some of the younger players will get into the game.
So we'll try to identify as many as we possibly can that we haven't talked about earlier in the ball game. And I think coaches really enjoy seeing those guys that put in the hard work during the week, getting your first teamers ready, that they get a chance at game action.
I think that's true, and the other part is they really enjoy seeing their younger people get game time. I don't care what the situation is, it's game time, and that's important to a younger player.
Swank is in at quarterback, and it'll be Rolls on the direct snap, and he is going to be hauled down. Making the tackle for Berwick is Gavin Jones, a sophomore.
Gavin Jones on the Berwick.
Jones did a nice job backside because Swank wanted to try to go to the left side.
Second and
See out there for Berwick, another sophomore, number 58, Rocco Romeo. Here comes Crestwood with a 2nd down and 8. Gonna hand it off to Lazo. Lazo trying to bounce it to the outside. And in for the two Italian guys. Pizzeria. Touchdown for Crestwood.
Crestwood hits the 55 mark as younger players come in and doing a nice job.
And I'll tell you what, Joe, we've seen this young man make plays sporadically the last couple weeks. This sophomore Lazo, you know, Schultz is a senior. It may be Lazo that they look to join Shedlock in that backfield come next season.
Well, and the other thing is, Marty, their offensive linemen. I mean, we're looking at a group that has performed well all year, and they do a decent job there with some younger players in.
Crestwood 56, Berwick 21.
Rolls' kick was good, so 1:42 remains in the ball game, and Crestwood, it is going to be right now a 35-point spread, but there were portions in this night where Crestwood or Berwick had it much closer than that score indicates. A couple times, well, especially the first 3 possessions, it was 14-7, but there was a couple times that it was a 14-point game.
Well, I think you're right, Marty, but I think overall, if you look at this game, the Comets have dominated. They have, on both sides of the ball, they've played very well. Their rushing must be in the 400 to 500 yard range. Didn't have to throw the ball a lot, but they threw it effectively when they did. Berwick had an answer early for maybe 5 minutes. Then they really didn't have an answer. So Crestwood's going to come away a big victor here.
Barbush Automotive kickoff. It's going to be kicked deep taken by the Bulldogs.
Kickoff fielded by Kyle Winters for the Bulldogs.
Kyle Winter,
20 yards, out
wearing
to
number
the 30-yard
23,
line,
returned it.
where Berwick will have a 1st and 10.
Lazo, Marty, 13-yard touchdown run. Rolls with the kick. 2 plays, 15 yards. 55-21, the Comets.
Berwick will continue to enter more players. See number 13, Alex Estrella, in the game, as is number 28, Tyler Winter. And this will be Winter, and he is going to be tackled after a short gain.
Winter with the handoff gets back to the line of scrimmage, no gain on the play. 2nd and 10.
Clock running, and
Matt Urban on the tackle. Sorry, Joe, as we're in the final minute.
talked about some of the younger players, both sides getting playing time.
This will be Winter again, and this time the Crestwood D will push him back for a loss.
On the left side carry.
Looks like
Tackle for a loss of 2 on the
clock
play.
doesn't stop.
3rd
One more
and
play.
14.
Final 10 seconds. And it's Winter again. And he's grabbed by, I believe, Antosh on the tackle. And that will end it. Crestwood goes to 8-1 with a 56-21 victory over the Berwick Bulldogs.
In the District 2 playoffs in Quad A.
Marty, one of the things that Berwick's going to have to do, obviously, the past 2 weeks, Danville last week and Crestwood this week, so they're going to have to rebound against the Mountaineers. I'm sorry, I flashed back 55 years. The Cougars at Hazelton, they're on the road and going to have to bounce back.
Thank you.
So Crestwood eyeing
senior night
playoff football as they're playing some of their best football, arguably of the season, come away with a 56-21 victory over Berwick.
And the other thing, Marty, it's a good time of year to start hitting your stride playoff season right down the road.
As we mentioned, next week, these Bulldogs will be on WYLN as they will hit the road for the regular season finale. Head to Harmon Geist Stadium to take on Dennis Bookman's Hazelton Area Cougars. Will be on the air next Friday night for the regular season finale of the Lehigh Valley Health Network Hazelton. Game of the week, Berwick, Hazelton Area, the rivalry game next Friday night, coming up at 7 o'clock. Joe, just looking over Jim Burns' shoulder, 417 yards on the ground, counting for most of the 494 yards of total offense for the Comets.
We talked about their ground game, and obviously they proved it to our viewing public tonight.
So we are going to get ready and say goodnight as Schultz gets 261 yards, 3 touchdowns. Shedlock 108 and 3 touchdowns, 77 yards passing and a touchdown. Lonzinski accounted for 185 yards passing and 2 touchdowns. So now for our director, Barry J.S. For Stats by Jim Burns. For Joe DeMelfi, I'm Marty Burns saying so long. Once again, the final score, Crestwood 56, Berwick 21. Join us next Friday night for the regular season finale of the Lehigh Valley Health Network Hazelton. Game of the week as Berwick will take on Hazelton Area live next Friday night at 7. This has been a WYLN Sports Special presentation. Good night from Crispin Field in Berwick.
You're watching WYLN TV 35.